Hello and welcome. Today I thought I would share a quick flip through of this journal, but it has a little bit of a backstory first. I made this journal a while ago, I'm guessing about a year and a half ago, and I listed it on Etsy, but it didn't sell, and I removed the listing and decided I might keep it for myself. But recently I pulled it out and I decided to kind of revamp it, add some more embellishments, and relist it again because it's really a nice journal, and I have so many journals I really don't need another one. So I'm going to share a quick flip through. I'll share the link to this journal in my Etsy shop down below, and here we go. So this journal has a pretty, I think this is called brocade fabric. I am terrible at identifying fabrics and laces and doilies and all that. I call almost everything a lace or a doily. But anyway, it has a really nice fabric, and it has about a 2-inch spine, 4 signatures. It's about 6 by 9. I don't have a ruler handy, sorry, right next to me. And after I embellished it a little more, it did get quite chunky. So you have to really like a chunky journal, but I think it looks really pretty from the side like that. Hopefully you can see there in better frame. Okay, so here we go. It has a ribbon closure and a little pocket there, tuck spot with some embellishments. This is the tag I made, and then this is a library catalog card that I decorated. I call this journal Always a Lady because of this title. And this is a vintage doily that I think is just beautiful. I glued onto there. A little mirror charm. This already had charms, and I just added about 2 or 3 more. Some beautiful lace. There's a lot of scrapbook paper, a few vintage items which I'll point out, all relating to ladies, women, that sort of thing. And this is a little tuck spot that I attached to a dictionary. This is a vintage dictionary page with some modern embellishments, and then a little paper clip to clip them together or to hold them on there. Little tuck spot, a sticker, a beautiful doily. Book pages. This is a faux label, or a ticket, excuse me. Beautiful lacy thing that I had, just this little scrap. It's beautiful. It has little pearls there. I thought it worked nicely with this image. And in my very early journals, I did add white paper because I sold my journals locally and at first, and I didn't have my Etsy shop, and then I wasn't sure people would know, there's a little charm, what junk journals were. So I wanted to add some white space, thinking, you know, that's more traditional journal, so they would understand it better. This is the middle of the signature, some trim here, a glassine envelope that I turned into a pocket, and it flips. And this is by way of vintage dictionary paper, and a library pocket that I added some decorative items. Not vintage. I also did have some tea dyed paper. I think this might be coffee dyed paper. I started out with coffee way back when. Another doily and a little tuck spot. Another tuck spot. This is actually a vintage scorecard. I think this is for bridge, if I'm not mistaken. That's not vintage. This one is. You can see on the back the old-timey writing. Oh, it doesn't have the year on that one. Okay, more vintage dictionary. Scrapbook paper. This is a little pocket. And more beautiful vintage lace. Second signature has a little charm like a cameo. Beautiful lace, I'll call it. I don't know what this is. I don't have very much of it, but I thought it worked really nicely with this journal. I just love the way that looks. And some more vintage and coffee dyed papers. Coffee cup or teacup. Whoops, I have a little charm here. If it would Sorry about that. Whoops, a little pink charm. There it is. And some more book pages. This is that Edith Holden paper book page. Some scrapbook paper I decorated. Just clipped a few things here and there. And another tag. This is an actual vintage little card. Some more modern mixed with vintage, I guess, bridge score card also. And isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love that. Love the way that looks. A lot of the white paper I tore off part of it or cut, and then I added some decorative pieces because I thought it just had too much white space, in my opinion. And more decorative items. I'll try to point out the vintage ones especially. It's a little paper clip that has a woman on it, and then just a little card that you can write on. This is a picture, a copy of a vintage photo that I have. It's not the original. More pretty lacy stuff on the bottom. And this, as you can see, this journal has a lot of space for you to journal in, decorate. Another beautiful piece of doily something. I just love the way that looks. Shoe charm. And more of the Edith Holden paper. I made a little tuck spot with some pieces in there. Another ticket. That's a sticker. This is a scrapbook paper that I just attached with that tab. Another lady. Some pretty decorative paper. Some more pretty lacy stuff. And this is another tag I made, and also a little envelope that has a copy of a vintage photo. That's not an actual vintage photo. And more white space. See, it has a lot of white space. So more little pieces I added. Oh, this is a vintage postcard. More of that cut off white paper. I added a little more. The lace was already here, but I added the fabric. And that is the decorated white paper. Some more, another little tuck spot. This is from a page of a book I have called Victorian Etiquette, I believe, or something like that. And it's very cute. It has things like what should be avoided when calling. So it says, do not, if a gentleman, seat yourself upon the sofa beside your hostess, the hostess, or in near proximity unless invited to do so, and other cute little things like that. There's a little charm, like a part of a doily thing. And it's the back of that piece. Final signature has a little book charm there. Some modern things, and this is a little vintage piece of scrap I had. I think this is the last of this piece that I had, which I just love. I hate when I run out of really pretty vintage pieces. And this one is from that same Victorian book. Look how unhappy they look. The Wife's Duty. Another copy of a vintage photo and some kind of like a rent receipt notice or form. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like if you paid your rent and then you got a receipt for it. Okay, so this is a CD holder. I decorated it a little bit, made it into a little pocket. And now more faux tickets, more decorated white paper, Edith Holden, little pieces of decorative items I just put in there with a little bit of scrappy vintage fabric I had. This is another charm, like a old-time mannequin sort of thing. And this is more beautiful vintage lace. Well, I'm not sure what that's called, but I know I think it has a name, a specific name. It's really pretty, whatever it is. And another little tuck spot and another copy of a vintage photo. This is a piece of a vintage envelope. I think it's from 1920 because it says 20 right here, from France, as you can see. I made it into a little tuck spot. It was a little fragile, so I taped it down and to kind of protect it. This is the back side of that book, that vintage etiquette book, our book page, and a little tuck spot that has a little scrap of vintage paper from 1932, written in French, a little scrap. I love that. And an actual vintage postcard. It says, "Good night, sweetheart, good night." That was a song, I think. And some beautiful writing on the back. Not sure the age of that one because it's kind of doesn't show up, the stamp. A little faux ticket, another little charm. And that's the end of the journal. Oh, another little tuck spot with some modern pieces and an envelope to keep your extra ephemera in. And that's the back of the journal. So if you're interested in this journal, like I said, I'll have the link below. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time.